welcome to Don't Stop Dreaming, a bucket list edition. My name is Jessie, and today I want to talk about something a little different when it comes to bucket list items, so stay tuned. Look at this view. Isn't it stunning? I'm here in Orlando, Florida, where it's the Sunshine State. It is a beautiful fall day. There's a breeze right now. I can tell my hair is kind of flying a little bit. It's a sunset right now, and I couldn't ask for any better. So today's episode is going to be a little bit different. I wanted to focus on nature. Think about what are some things that you love about nature. For me, I feel like nature helps me feel peace. I feel that when I can look around and see beautiful greenery, and when I see palm trees is something for me that brings an instant peace. I don't know what it is about palm trees. Maybe it's because in my mind I think, oh, it's tropical, and I'm a tropical kind of gal. I love seeing animals. So if I am driving or walking somewhere and I see like a crane crossing in front of me, I'll take a moment and enjoy that creature. I'll be able to just look at it, see its mannerisms, see how it communicates with maybe its other pair. I just love seeing squirrels playing around with, other squirrels, or trying to find for food, there's just so many different little tiny things that really can make a difference in how you feel in one day. Another thing I love to do is I ended up learning that, a friend had shared to me about a kayak, right? And it was an inflatable kayak. And I'm like, ooh, inflatable in Florida with gators. Not sure if that's smart. You know what? It was a great idea. And it's safe as of now. But I bought this kayak and I didn't realize how much I loved kayaking. I went for the first time in my little inflatable kayak, gator-infested waters. They weren't really infested, but I'm sure there was a gator or two inside. And I did not realize the moments of peace and the moments of just enjoyment of floating in that water and looking around me and noticing the beauty around me and listening. It was a lake in a neighborhood. I could hear neighbors, I could hear birds, I could hear even just the breeze. It was just a really cool experience. And at the time, the kayak wasn't really a bucket list item, but at the same time, it was something that, I've created kind of some bucket list items. Like one of them I want to do is I want to ride a kayak through like Manatee waters, because I've learned how much I've really enjoyed kayaking and how much I enjoy being around nature, that I'm sure that if I go around manatees in a kayak, that would probably be an epic experience. So think about nature. I'm talking about tropical settings, but you can have amazing bucket lists that involve even cold, wintry settings. Like think about a sleigh ride. One of my bucket list items, it's a little extravagant, but one of my bucket list items is to go on a dog sled. I think it'd be so just like mind-blowing to be on a sled with these dogs pulling you through the snow in a mountainous region. Like how just like incredible would that experience be, right? So think about that. Like think right now a place that you live, or that you've lived before, or a place that you've even visited, and think about what was something that was a part of that environment, the natural side of it, that you enjoyed. I've used a couple examples, right? I've said palm trees, I've said animals, lakes and water. I say lakes, but what about the ocean? I love watching the waves. Think of things that maybe involve the ocean or sand. Think about snow. Think about mountains and hiking and the amazing things you can do and the different kind of lists of things you can do within mountains. Think about valleys. I know this is kind of a crazy one, but it's nature still. I love M. Night Shyamalan's movies, and I was thinking about the movie Signs. And wouldn't it be creepy and cool at the same time to be in a cornfield and sit there and watch the movie Signs? It's nature still, maybe a little bit different and extravagant, but hey, that's what I'm talking about. There's so many things that you can do that involves nature that also involves accomplishing your goals. Think about it. What are some of your goals? just take a moment. What are some things on your list? If you're looking at your list right now, or if you don't have it right now, write something down. Look at your list and say, okay, what do I have that involves nature on this list? What do I have where I can add nature to this list? What are things that I've noticed that is a location or spot or an environment that I want to be a part of that I think is going to bring a little bit extra joy or excitement for me? If you think about these things, I think you'll actually be able to create more bucket list items, or you'll feel a little bit more motivated to go and accomplish that item. And when I say that, I mean, like, for example, I'm thinking, I just recently talked about dog sledding. I don't really like snow, so I actually don't have a lot of bucket list items that involve the snow. But at the same time, right now, just thinking about dog sledding, I'm like, okay, I gotta find a way so that I can go to a state or a country where I can really go dog sledding, because that would just be so much fun. I'm kind of hyping myself up just thinking about it, right? So the more you think about the opportunities that are out there, especially with things that match to what you love about nature, it makes it a little easier to hype yourself and get ready and prepare yourself to actually go and accomplish that bucket list item. So not only that are you hyping yourself up, but then you can also think, oh wait, I think I'm gonna like this activity, but I just heard from Pinterest or a video I saw online or a movie, they did this and it included a mountains or snow. I think I'm just gonna add it to my list, because you never know. Opportunities come a lot of times when you least expect them, but then sometimes you do plan them and expect them. Just make them happen, right? At least if you have that list, it's gonna prepare you to what you need to do to fully accomplish and check off that bucket list item. I've talked about before that bucket list items don't always have to be a one-time thing. They can be a consistent, you can do it once a week, once a day. It can be a goal that you just wanna work on for the rest of your life. Don't let that limit you, right? Don't let that one check off limit you from doing so many wonderful things. So many people accomplish more because they grow on top of an already accomplished bucket list item. One thing that came to my mind was hiking, for example. You may have a goal and say, I want to hike this is an extravagant one. Every state I want to go on a hike. And let's say you've accomplished that goal. Or actually, let's say this, not even state. How about in one state, you said, I want to go to every mountain region in my state. Let's say you've accomplished that goal, right? Maybe it took you a couple months, maybe it took a year, maybe 5 years. Now that you've accomplished that goal, don't just think, I'm done, I did my one state. Make it bigger, make it better, right? Maybe you can start going to the next state over. Maybe you can try doing a different country and try different hikes. Maybe you can, there's so many different ways that you can add on to an already accomplished bucket list item. Maybe to a garden. There's so many gardens out there, and that might be a goal that you have. And maybe you can hit up every garden in your county, every garden in your state, every garden that's got a certain theme. Let's say maybe you want to look for butterflies, try to find a different butterfly garden. There's just so many cool things that you can do that will create a more enhancing experience, and you'll get to learn more and you'll get to accomplish more just because you've been able to grow from this one bucket list item that's been accomplished to several more, and you actually learn more about yourself when you do that. There was a time when I didn't really appreciate nature the right way, and I think it was actually when I started doing bucket list items that I grew to know what kind of things I could really enjoy and treasure in my life. I talked about palm trees, I talked about the ocean, I talked about animals. These are things that I learned that I loved because I accomplished bucket list items. So, once you've realized the things that you love about nature, I feel like you would be able to find things that are really going to enrich your desire, your knowledge, and even your passion for things. I learned a lot about myself because of nature. I started doing bucket list items, and once I realized those things that I truly could enjoy that involved nature, I started thinking about a whole bunch of different ideas that I could accomplish and achieve and be able to learn from those experiences as well. You know, now that I go on bucket list items, one thing that I really focus on is the natural side of that bucket list item. So maybe if I go and I meet an animal or hang out with an animal, I look at the environment that they may be in. I observe the way they're being treated. I observe where they're from. You know, when I'm traveling to a seventh wonder of the world, I look around me and I think, wow, look at how these people built this amazing structure. Look at the environment that they grew up and live in. Look at their background. You know, I just notice things a little bit more. I recognize the smells. I recognize the sounds and the music and the surroundings that these people lived in when they built these seven wonders. Nature can bring a lot of fears into people, right? A lot of times people accomplish bucket list items because they're trying to do something before they die, or they're trying to do something to overcome a fear. So, what is something you're afraid of? What is something that you think, okay, if I add this to my bucket list item, I might accomplish it and then I might not be afraid? Nature does have amazing, crazy, scary things and elements about it. And there's so many things that I think people are fearful that involves nature. For example, let me see if I can think of one right now that could be a bucket list item that I can try that could be kind of terrifying, but I would actually really love it. Okay, I got one for you. I am scared of not feeling supported. And when I say not feeling supported, I'm talking about in a cord, you know, if I'm doing like some kind of adrenaline junkie type activity and I'm being held by a wire, that scares me a bit because then I feel like I'm not securely being protected, or that something could snap and I'm going down. That's one of my fears. A lot of times to do those things, you need to be around nature, right? Whether you're zip lining or bungee jumping or cliff diving or climbing up rocks or whatever, you know, parachuting, hot air balloon, those involve nature, and those also involve a little bit of that fear of not being supported. So right here, I will give you an example. I do not have this on my bucket list currently, but I will put it on. I need to go bungee jumping. And when I say bungee jumping, you know what? I'm going to clarify that. I need to do cliff diving or cliff jump. I had an opportunity when I was in New Zealand with my friends to go, which I heard is actually one of the, the first place that bungee jumping or cliff diving even began. And I had an opportunity to jump off an epic mountain, and I didn't do it. I went to a really cool Maori ruins boat ride. But at the same time, my friends have these really great pictures and video of them swinging off a cliff. So here it is. I'm going to add on my bucket list to do some kind of cliff jump or swing or something like that, so that when another opportunity like New Zealand comes, I'm going to take it and I'm not going to miss out. So I'm daring you to think of something that involves nature and that overcomes your fear. What do you think? What would it be? I don't know. Got to think about it. Nature can play a very big, important part in people's bucket list items, but I think sometimes people forget that there's so many options when it comes to nature. So what are ways that we can think of creative, cool opportunities that involve nature? You know, we have great resources online. People have done a lot of really cool things. Look on places like Pinterest. Look at places like YouTube. You know, I try to give examples, so maybe I have some examples that you might want to try out that involve nature. You could go search the web. Ask friends and family. My friends and family have done so many amazing things, and a lot of my ideas have come from them and their experiences and them bragging about how epic their vacation was or how epic this really cool trail was. Let's see. Sometimes by natural conversation with a stranger, you get ideas. So search around, look around. You may be surprised what really great bucket list items that involve nature, where they come from. You know, you never know. You might hear just the right thing that might ding, and you might be like, I need to add that to my list. Here's a fun bucket list item. You know, have you ever had a picnic at a park? Have you ever told your loved one that you love them under the moonlight? Think about different things that involve even couples goals that you can do that involve. I hope you learned something new, at least had some food for thought, and just be able to appreciate nature a little bit more. I know that it's been a really big help to me. It's something that I have recently appreciated more. I think just because I've been accomplishing bucket list items, I've been recognizing what's around me, the sounds, the smells, the feelings, the breezes, the temperature, just look, like I said, behind me, look how beautiful this is. And I feel like sometimes we live in such a hustle bustle world, we don't allow ourselves to really enjoy what's around us. And so I invite you, I don't usually give invitations, but I want to invite you today to think about a bucket list item. Doesn't have to be 10, just think of one bucket list item that involves nature, that you think will bring joy into your life, that will bring a peace that maybe you're seeking. And not just that, but then you'll be able to say that you've accomplished a really great item, whether it's simple or it's something extravagant. So think about one thing you can accomplish, and that one thing needs to involve nature, whatever it is, whether it's water involved, whether it's land, whether it's cold, warm, fall temperature, even if it includes food and eating it outside. Just find something that you think you can accomplish that's going to bring a little bit more happiness to your life and appreciate the beautiful world that we live in. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope you've learned something, and have a wonderful, fabulous kind of day. Bye.